Hey everyone, this is Andy from Gizchina, and today we're going to do a quick unboxing and hands-on of the Cubot X16. Okay, so this is the box that the Cubot X16 comes in. As you can see, it's sort of a brown or gold mottled finish with the Cubot name up there. And on the rear we've got a few details of the specifications. According to the box, this is the white version of the phone, as you can see there. It's also got a 5-inch Full HD 1920 by 1080 IPS display. Quad-core Mediatek MT6735 processor running at 1.3 GHz. It simply says Android OS on there, but it's actually Android 5.1 Lollipop. We've got 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal memory, plus room for micro SD cards. And the camera specs say 16 megapixel rear and 8 megapixel front, but I believe those to be interpolated values, and actually we're looking at 30 megapixels rear and 5 megapixel front. Now, I've already had a quick look at the X16, and overall I'm pretty impressed with the feel and the look and even the build of the device. That's how the phone comes in the box, all wrapped up in a plastic case, and there's actually a clear cover on the rear of that, or a clear case on the rear of this to protect it, which you can choose to use or not, obviously. So I'm going to pop that to one side and see what else is in the box. Under this little tray there's a little guide on how to use the SIM tray on the Cubot X16. As you can see, you can either use dual SIM cards, one micro SIM and one nano SIM, or instead you can have one SD card and a nano SIM instead. It also shows you where the USB charge and data cable plug is located. So I mean, for most of us, opening this up, we'll know how all of this works. But if you were to buy this for, someone who's new to Android devices, this is useful information. As is the quick start guide. So again, for us watching this, we already know how to use an Android device. But if you are choosing to get this for someone who isn't quite used to using Android, this little quick start guide is quite useful. It's all in English, has a few other languages in there too, and it explains how to do everything from unlock the screen to send messages and even listen to music on your Cubot X16. Okay, also in the box we've got this little SIM tray ejector tool, so you can get your dual SIM slot and also your micro SD slot. We've got a screen protector and also a little bit of cloth there to keep the screen clean. USB data cable. This is a standard USB, not a Type-C, and we've also got a EU standard charger for charging up the internal battery. Okay, so that's everything that's in the box. Here's the phone itself. Already mentioned, it comes wrapped up in this thick plastic cover, and there's also a case on the rear which just snaps on. Just going to take that off so you can have a good look at the actual phone itself. It's quite a tight fit, so a moment. Let's get this off. There we go. So this comes on the phone as standard. You can choose to use it or not. It's actually very similar to what Vivo and LaTV provide with their Android phones. Okay, so with the case off, you can see the Cubot X16 is quite a thin phone. 5-inch Full HD display. Cubot say this is from JDI, so it should be a pretty good display. And although it looks like a near bezel-less design, it actually does have black borders around the screen. You can see along the bottom and the edge there's a bit of a black border. Again, similar to LaTV and other phones of this year. We've got navigation buttons along the bottom for going back, home and options in Android 5.1 Lollipop. We've got this front-facing camera, which I believe to be 5 megapixels, but will take 8 megapixel photos. On the rear we've got the Cubot logo, external speaker, dual LED flash and a 13 megapixel camera interpolated to 16. And again, this is all glass, or perhaps a tough plastic, I'm not too sure. But it looks very nice, it's quite glossy and shiny, and it adds to an overall, quality look of the phone. This metal border is in fact aluminium. It's a nice alloy chassis. We've got a power button and volume rocker on the right hand side. 3.5mm headphone jack in the top, USB charger plug in the base, and we've got that SIM tray on the left hand side. So overall, glass, plastic, aluminium, very slim design, 5-inch screen. So it's a nice compact phone. Feels and looks really good. I was surprised when I opened up the box. I've seen other phones advertised as a quality device with high-end materials at this price of around 140 euros. But actually the Cubot does succeed in providing those. It does look pretty good. It is punching way above its price in terms of design and build. If I just turn the screen on, you can just make out those bezels around the edges, and you can see that we're running a near stock Android 5.1 installation on the phone. We've got our usual notifications in the top and also our toggles. We've got folders for our Google apps, and you can see we've got an app drawer for all our other applications. And as you can see, we've got Google Play and all the other usual Google applications already installed. It also came with Opera Mini browser installed, a gesture control application installed, and I think that was it. Just yeah, there was no other apps that were added. No, that's it. So everything else is just your standard Android applications and different bits and bobs in there as usual. If I go into the settings, you can see we are running Android 5.1, it's the Cubot X16. And if we go back into settings, you can see that we have Hot Knot, so you can, with another Hot Knot enabled phone, you can put the two phones together screen to screen and share data and photos and other details. We've also got those gesture controls. We've got off-screen gestures, on-screen gestures, and air gestures. Let me just turn this screen down, it's a bit bright for the camera. There we go. So off-screen gestures, we've got double tap to unlock. We can also add different gestures, for example, draw a C to open Google Chrome, draw an S to open a contact in your contacts list, and you can choose what you want them to do. So for example, E, I can have it for an unlock, dial, or an application. I've got C set up to open Chrome, so if I just show you that in action, if I just lock the screen, draw a C, and you can see Google Chrome opens up. So that's already built into the settings. I can also go to the gesture control from here too. We have on-screen gestures as well. We've got 3 point move up and down to make a screenshot. So basically dragging 3 fingers down the screen should take a screenshot. And we've also got double tap the home button to lock the phone, like so. So a few bits and bobs added in there, but overall it is a standard Android 5.1 installation. What else do we have on here? When I opened it before, I did open up the camera, and the camera application is a little bit different again actually, so yeah, not quite standard Android, sorry about that. And we've got a few different features in here. As you can see, we've got our HDR, flash, and our camera rotation features here, but we've also got this really nice menu for going through our different camera options. We've got a standard camera, we've got beauty mode, panoramic, we've got movement tracking, and we've got these live picture options, which basically take a short 7-second video or so as a photo. So these are nice little fun things to play with, and it's a really nice menu setup and animation when you want to use them. The actual camera itself is pretty quick, not too bad. And actually a few of the photos, I'll show you some that I've taken. I've taken some photos already, and they do look pretty good. They're not bad at all. I was expecting much less. So to find that it's actually taking pretty nice photos, quite nice bright colours, is quite impressive. There you go, this is the pumpkin for Halloween tomorrow. So not bad photos. Alright, so that's it for now. That's the Cubot X16. Any other details I can go through? It's got FDD LTE. The dimensions are 69.4 by 6.2 millimeters thick. What else do we have? Oh, sorry, the height is 100